Hi there Libra, thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 25th of July. Your social sector is absolutely sparkling with possibilities this week, but it is going to ask you to be ready to just go with the flow if an opportunity or an invitation crops up, because the chances of things moving quite rapidly are actually really high. Now, over the last 4 or 5 years, Uranus has been quite an influence on your sector of relating, in some ways very positively, because it's made you much more conscious of the kind of authentic relationships you need and freed you from ones that have not been so supportive. But equally this week, it's going to be forging a terrific link with Mercury, how you think and communicate, and latterly in the week with Venus, your ruler, in terms of how you relate and interact with others. So whether it is getting together at an intellectual level to discuss something that's really exciting and important to you in terms of an interest you share with another friend or group of people, or it is doing something more spontaneously with your partner if you're in a relationship, or being open to social possibilities which can see you chatting with new and really quite exciting types of people, then the latter part of this week can prove really quite engaging too. Now, it's not going to be a case of all of milk and honey, although the sun is also in this sector too, giving you a lot of support to be more active and networking and perhaps even a bit more sporty. I do feel that the quarter moon, which occurs on Tuesday, is going to require a little bit of care for you. This suggests that around one group situation, although the vibe can be very upbeat, don't underestimate that there could be some undertones of tensions and jealousies and rivalries and politics, more than maybe immediately obvious. Then again, in a long-standing group association, perhaps what this week's influences are going to encourage you to do is to break free and to be a little bit more following your own agenda and moving more towards people who represent who you are in the here and now, rather than when you first met this group. And if there is a lot of backbiting, that could be a big incentive to move on. But latterly in the week, from Thursday and Friday, well then, just briefly, Mercury and Mars are squaring. When people have this in their natal horoscopes, it gives them a tendency to be a little bit too aggressive about punching across their viewpoint. For you, because Mars is in your sector of finance at the moment and your values, it's possible you could have a bit of a clash with someone who sees things differently to you. Perhaps it's about your long-term future. You can have an option, could find yourself with a decision to make and be unsure which way to go. Also, Uranus slams on the brakes on Friday for a 5.5-month retrograde. This is going to see you thinking very carefully about your relationships in general during that time, and examining whether you are being able to be your true self in any relationships, and yet at the same time relate on the terms which suits you and the person that you're wanting to be close to. By the end of this week, however, Mercury does move into a very confidential zone. I think the inference here is, over the next 21 days, someone may tell you something that's quite sensitive, or you yourself may do some very deep research or thinking, involve yourself in some self-help books, or be a bit more meditative in your approach to life in general. But it's going to be quite a subtle influence at the end of this week, which is in general a very upbeat, bright, sparkling and very sociable opportunity for you to connect with people and really enjoy something of a rejuvenation in the way that you reach out and connect to the world at large. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.